the days, whether they be playoffs or Sun Bowls, just that extra bit of flair. All right, the coin toss taking place now. See some of the captains out there. In front of you there, you can see the Rhinos captains. Left to right, you've got Jack Lowe, Anthony Hearn, Zachary Nielsen, and the big man, Robert Afoa. The Raptors, who I'm told that they are fielding effectively a full-strength team today, have their full captains out there as well. Getting the instructions from our white hat referee, which for this first game is Florian Zawadzki.
Raptors won the toss, elected to defer. Rhinos elected to receive in the first half.
And we just heard there the results. And the Rhinos won the toss and elected to defer, as every team has who's won the coin toss in the playoffs so far. So the Raptors, they'll be receiving and running from the southern end here at Sunshine Coast Stadium. Ben, it wasn't too long ago that you were in Colts football back then. Obviously, this is the junior division, a brand new division brought into Gridiron Queensland this year. They've brought in a 14 to 16-year-old group, which is something that's been talked about for years on end. Yeah. But no one ever really wanted to pull the trigger. The the management committee and GQ decided to make the move this year at risk of some of the growing pains that came with it. But here we are in the playoffs, 4 teams ready to compete.
Yeah, it's been an awesome year. Again, another excellent decision by the management committee. Like you said, there are growing pains of any growth in the league and any expansion, and it is good. There was some doubts as to whether we'd get to this point of the season, but the teams have proven us wrong, the clubs have proven us wrong, and I think the real winner here is the kids that are on the field right now, getting to play in a playoff opportunity to go to the Sun Bowl.
And on top of that, Gridiron Queensland, it's no secret that the key to growth is through your grassroots.
Absolutely.
And what a weird kickoff. The Raptors have recovered.
What a way to start the game.
An unintentional onside kick. Off the helmet of one of the frontline players. I think that might have been Lachlan O'Boyle. And, well, what do you reckon, mate? Do you think that was in any way intentional?
I don't think so. I think he wasn't expecting a ball there, and he's tried to attempt to catch it, and unfortunately wasn't quick enough to snatch at it.
All right, here we go. On offense are the Raptors. I think that is Xander Curry. They've got 2 quarterbacks, the Raptors, and they rotate through both of them. It looks like Xander Curry will be first in. He hands it off to Stephen Sheetha.
Big tackle for loss there.
And gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage. So win for the Rhinos defense to open up proceedings here from scrimmage. And it's interesting. 2 sort of key backs for the Raptors as well as 2 quarterbacks. Xander Curry is more of the running threat, though has been working on his passing game. Declan Garrity, who left the game injured last week, is considered more of their passing threat. Curry's still in the game. He will drop back. He's going to go long, and don't know if his receiver...
I think he just slipped over there on the route there.
Stuart, I didn't know if it was going to be a miscommunication there, but I think you're right. Just slipped short at the 40, so a missed opportunity there, and that'll bring up 3rd down and a long. After the Raptors lost yards on 1st down, incompletion on 2nd brings up a 3rd and 16. Good drive here for the Rhinos if they can force a punt. It's a play action pass. Curry.
Nice roll out.
He'll probably run this here. He's aiming for the left sideline and will be taken down at the 41, maybe 2. Still well short of a first down though, but at least they've given themselves a possible go for it scenario.
I think run with the luck here. You got the luck on the kickoff. If it was me, I'd be going for it.
Oh, Zachary Nielsen with a nice open field tackle, and they've sent the punting team in. They will open a little more conservatively. Back to return, Zachary Nielsen. Punt is made, and this will dribble out at the 21. Flag's been thrown. Back where the kick went out of bounds. Let's see if we can get a call here.
There's no foul on the field.
I think possibly one of the sideline officials might have thought he was calling a kickoff.
Yeah, seems that might have been the case there.
We all make mistakes.
A little bit eager to get the flags thrown early in the morning.
It's getting the arm warmed up. I think we'll take one of those over an inverted whistle.
Yeah.
First down on the 21. Rhinos on offense for the first time today. And they'll go with a little triple option, but it's gone horribly. Nielsen will have to try and clean this up, and he's got some space now going back to the wide side of the field and gets it back past the line of scrimmage. Picks up a couple yards on a play that really could have lost them considerably more.
Yeah, I think they was quite lucky to bounce it back out there. I think there was just a bit too much of an over-contain by the Raptors defense to the left side of the field there. A bit of luck for the Rhinos to open their first drive of the day.
And let's see if the Rhinos will get any luck on their first drive after Angus Dimmick's crazy kickoff to start the day. Quick pass out here to Nielsen. Nielsen, one of their strike men.
And he's got space.
And he's got plenty of space, and
I
he's
think
going to go untouched inside the 30, 20, 10. Rhinos touchdown. Nielsen on the screen pass.
What a nice play that was. On a little team celebration here.
Right. Look at that. Don't tell me they didn't plan that.
A bit of fun for the boys.
I don't mind it.
I like it. I think you see it in the NFL enough and they get their opportunity to do it. You got to have some fun with it.
I think there's a fine line. As long as no celebration is a taunt.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I think it's okay to celebrate the stuff you do right. Possible questionable block there, but I think the officials are happy to let that one go.
Oh, no, it looks like they're actually going to go to a review here. I think you're onto something here, Kenny.
Oh, maybe I should have kept
back
my mouth
here on
shut
the
for the
40.
sake of the Rhinos fans. And confirming there will be no review. So that means the touchdown stands 6-0 Brisbane Rhinos. And here is a junior team that is actually prepared
Result
to
of the
kick.
play, touchdown.
And there's the confirmation there. But here's a junior team that is capable and willing to kick PATs.
It is a bit of a rare sighting to see the younger teams actually go for the PATs. I remember back when I played Colts, we were about one of the only teams that actually could go for a PAT.
It was your younger brother Jason Goffin, I believe, had the ability to
Jace was had a bit of a leg on him, so.
And it's not just the power; you need the ability to get that kick up early.
Yeah, it takes a bit. I'm a shocking kicker, so I've never attempted, but Jace had it, and from what I've seen of the Rhinos so far this year, they've got it too.
Oh, maybe we put the mocker on them. We saw a 2-point return yesterday. And, well, is this still live? No whistles have been blown. Heads up play here from the Rhinos, but they will be stopped well short, 10 yards in fact.
Unlucky to.
Oh, the kicking game today. Ridiculousness
No
all
further
around. So it was blocked, and then in the recovery, the Rhinos player actually picked it up. Everyone's standing around thinking the play's dead. Dimmick eventually knocks number 8, Darcel Tuamavave out of bounds, but at one point it looked like both teams were scoring 2 points.
That return on the PAT yesterday in the Ravens game was a treat to watch. It's the first one I've seen in our league for a little while.
Quite some time, yeah. For those who missed out yesterday in the absolute smash-a-thon, that was the Ravens versus the Thunder in the men's division. There was a blocked PAT attempt and returned for 2 points by Chris Clark. And, well, interesting call here. I didn't think a knee was down when he fielded that. Well, I joked about an inverted whistle earlier. No, he's fielded that cleanly. I'm not sure what the issue is. Ball hasn't gone out of bounds. A returner hasn't come from out of bounds, has he?
Not that I see. I didn't see anything wrong with that, so that's a...
Man, I'm a little worried about my commentary's curse today.
It's been a couple of times already this morning.
Well, we're going to take a look at the kick again. Well, okay, so they're replaying the kick. I'm getting confirmation in my earpiece now that the officials weren't ready. So therefore they're going to replay the kick.
We have an inadvertent whistle of a referee. We will re-kick the down.
I'd have called it inverted whistle.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, and that, just for the sake of my entertainment, I'm going to call a triple reverse pass. Is that going to happen at some point today? After that former head coach of yours was coaching, which he is later today.
Yeah.
Geez, actually, Chapman's coaching today. That very well could happen.
There's always an opportunity for something crazy when he's coaching.
God's play, and this click-off isn't as clean. It is fielded. Oh, the Rhinos returner, and I think it's...
Oh, and he's fumbled the
number
ball.
6, Max Schlatter, who's lost it. And more drama on kickoffs. This one's recovered by Jack Lowe.
There's an unfortunate mistake there. He looks like he had the wheels to go and he's just sort of fumbled the ball there at that first point of contact.
Max Schlatter, in the one junior game I saw him compete in the middle of this season. He's proven that he is an open field threat if he can get the space. There's one of our most experienced referees, Mark Louie, there, who got the old IA. And we're going to see a timeout called here.
Timeout, Raptors. This is their first team timeout in the first half.
Well, the Raptors, I think, they might have called timeout here to get a bit of composure. We're going to compose ourselves, take the first timeout of the day here. Back shortly.
Omaha! Face! Julius! Move 20! 50's Mike. Move! Clear! Omaha! Then down! 50's Mike!
Oh, it's happened to me. Like I heard.
The fumble. Getting a confirmation several times that we're back, but we were talking during the break, man. Schlatter's fumble there, he was holding the ball nice, high and tight, and it just slipped out, and you said yourself, you're a ball carrier yourself, sometimes you can do everything right and somehow it still comes out.
Yeah, there's been several times where, you know, you have a nice high type hold on the ball and someone just gets a shoulder right in the perfect spot and you can't do anything but watch the ball go flying out of your hands. It's,
I think it was in the Rhinos men's games yesterday. We saw with Tim Carlton a similar sort of situation. He was just taking down low early, and sometimes you loosen that grip just that little bit. Your body's moving forward, the lower half of your body stopped, and out comes the ball.
Yeah, I've had that happen a couple of times as well. You just kind of, you think the play's over.
Nielsen and behind, they go back to the triple option, but hand off
nice
the
tackle there.
up back, and denying him is Jacob Thackeray. One of the big enforcers in the middle for the Raptors. Second and long now. They lost a lot of yards on that tackle for a loss. 4-man front for the Raptors. And they show blitz in this.
I think we're going to have an illegal formation here. The Rhinos left slot was standing just over the line, I believe.
Encroachment, offense, number 42, 5 yards penalty, replay, second down.
Yeah, that's all right.
Encroachment from the offense. And speaking about encroachment calls, offsides and false starts, in yesterday's men's Ravens and Thunder game, 19 total penalties on offsides and false starts alone.
It was the Ravens had the double count fooling the Thunder most of the game.
They'll go back to the screen pass they scored on. He's Nielsen again using the stiff arm, and that'll get him just past the original line of scrimmage. Well, like, giving a first down signal. I think he forgot that it was double sticks.
Yeah.
So now we've got 3rd and long. Ball back to the starting line of scrimmage, making it 3rd and 10. What have the Rhinos got on 3rd and long?
The empty set again.
And under pressure, he breaks the tackle. Trying to evade the rest of the rush now. Into the open field and taken down a nice open field tackle by Schlatter.
I think it's going to be 2 yards short of the first.
And 2 yards short he is. 4th and 2 as far as junior football goes. This is a go for it situation.
Absolutely. And the Raptors defense, unfortunate not to get the sack there. They had the early pressure. Just missed that tackle.
Trips out to the right. And
The QB draw up the middle.
keeps it successfully.
First down.
And he lets us know. He has a signal in now from head coach Chris Power. Chris Power involved in coaching in all the divisions really. He serves an assistant at the men's and coaches special teams at the Colts. And then his personal baby is the junior division where he's the head coach and getting looked over by obviously club head coach John Booker. Hearn, quick drop, and he had the seam over the middle. Just a few too many wheat picks this morning.
I think just touching on the Rhinos coaching stuff there, the one thing that I've noticed when I've been at games is as you said, everyone's got a role in every team, and with the introduction of Coach Booker to the Rhinos this year, you've definitely seen a huge change in all divisions that they have there, and that unity they have in the coaching staff and his ability to bring his experience and knowledge has just been a wonder for their club, and I'm excited to see where their club can go with it.
Absolutely. We'll get more back soon. A fumble! The Raptors recover! A messy exchange leads to the ball popping out, and jumping on that is Angus Dimmick.
Couple of early mistakes in this game. I think at this point it's anyone's game if this is where it's going to go.
The Raptors now just need to try to put a drive together. Still yet to see the Rhino side of the field. Xander Curry still remains as quarterback. Double tight set. And it'll be a run up the middle to limited success. Matter of fact, they might have lost a yard.
Me? Am I quite quiet, am I?
Yeah.
No. Sorry.
Second down. Curry, who won the Play of the game for his team back in week 7.
Deep
Throws
pass
long
there.
to Dimmick. Dimmick had it, lost it,
It's
picked off.
intercepted.
No! Is that a fumble?
Be interesting to see what they call here.
It wasn't a... That is in the grey area of possession.
I would say that'd be an incomplete pass here.
I think so too. Marcus McCarthy for the Rhinos. Thought he had a pick, but never really possessed the football. Taking a look back here on slow-mo. Almost looks like it's there, but I'm going to get a call now here from...
We have an incomplete pass on the field. Additionally, we have a flag for roughing the passer, number 41 red. That will be tagged onto the previous spot, 15 yards. Automatic first down, Raptors. And I see we have a challenge flag.
Rob Tully Jr. pinged for roughing the passer there. Something we missed looking at the craziness of the potential intercept.
Correction, there's no challenge flag on the field.
And as you just heard, there's no challenge flag. We'll see if we can catch the roughing the passer here. There's quarterback number 4, and we will be seeing him about to get hit.
I think he's copped a bit of a hit there.
This might be the angle for it, actually. Well, the way things are going from the NFL down, the defenders need to be smart. And
I think if he had have just let him go, it might have avoided the flag there. But as he's taken him to the ground, I think that's deserving of a flag.
in today's day and age, yeah, that's going to be called. Andy Curry. Play action, under pressure, evades
Escapes
it,
the sack.
and can't evade the second wave, taken down for a 1-yard loss. Another sack in the play, I think that was Josh Hardacker. Fortunately for the Raptors, only a 1-yard sack there, but still a big play for this Brisbane Rhinos defense. 2nd and 10. Curry speed option out to the right now. Looks like he'll keep it. He's tucked it under an arm, and it's a great open field tackle there from Nielsen. Playing well on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, it was a nice play there. He probably could have taken the option, but he's taken himself and made a few yards to be a 3rd and short.
It's actually a good block with the running back who turns from potential receiver to a blocker and trying to give his quarterback as much space as possible. They pick up about 4 yards on that last run. A 3rd down conversion. Well, the assignment on 3rd down is now 6 yards. Tight end is positioned to the left. We've got 2 backs in for the Raptors. Alright, they will hand this ball off. And up the middle they try to go.
A flag on the far side, I believe.
Well, Sheether was stuffed for a loss there, and flag coming in, looking at offside. I thought we were going to confirmation now. I think we're just trying to figure out which number it was.
Offside. Defense. Number 8. 5 yards penalty. Replay. 3rd down.
Docel Tilmavave. Apparently lining up in the neutral zone. And for those, I know there'll be a lot of parents and family members watching, possibly for the first time, or we're still trying to wrap their head around this game that we've all become obsessed with. But the neutral zone is the length of the football in between the 2 teams there. You cannot line up in that zone, hence it being called the neutral zone. Third and short, following the 5-yard penalty. They'll go a bit of a reverse here. I think there's been a miscommunication there. Getting taken down for a loss is Stuart Eller.
Yeah, I think you find the receiver there is going on the reverse, went in front of the quarterback rather than behind, so I think that's where the confusion's come.
End of the first quarter.
And that brings us to the end of the first quarter. But I think you're right. And the receiver can go inside the quarterback there. That is a possibility. But right there, neither of them really wanted to give up the
Yeah, and I
trade
think
they're
the
going.
Rhinos D-line's doing a great job bringing pressure. I think you see in the replay there's 3 or 4 of them right there ready to make the tackle. So they're definitely getting the penetration early, which is something the Raptors offense is going to need to work on.
Teams swap sides. And they're almost ready to resume play here in the second quarter. Obviously the various fans and family members and friends, both Rhinos and the Raptors here in the stands of Sunshine Coast Stadium.
Yeah, it's been a great turnout this morning. The one big change that I think this junior division has brought is the 9 a.m. game. It is quite early, but it's good to see a lot of people down here watching the football action.
I know a lot of teams back in Brisbane had to probably depart a lot earlier than they're usually comfortable with, but that's playoff football for you. 4th down, the Raptors set to punt it away. Dimmock gets a lot of purchase behind this.
That's a nice punt there.
And they'll mark it out of bounds at the Rhinos 16. Good punt. The Rhinos with another opportunity. Here, coughing the ball up last time. Of course, they're the only team with a touchdown so far, courtesy of Zachary Nielsen on a long-range score on a screen plate. First and 10 Rhinos. See another stoppage here.
I think it's a player without a mouth guard in.
Well, I'd like to say that's something that junior players have got to learn, but we saw it in the senior divisions yesterday.
Yeah, we did. I believe it was in the game last night, the Rhino Stingrays game.
Got to have your mouthpiece. Once upon a time, it would be a timeout charge to the offending team, but now they just send that player off and they would go off for a play. The Rhinos now handing the ball off to number 20, Harry
Oh,
McGawley.
a nice tackle there. Great tackle there.
Mike Schlatter proving his worth in the open field. Second down. Short gain there. Picking up about 2 yards. Another promotion is Nielsen. Nielsen will get it on the
Another
jet
reverse
sweep.
here.
He's got some space on the open side of the field. Breaks the tackle, cuts it back at the 35, and eventually run out of bounds at the 41.
That's some nice open field speed there. You can see his eyes are downfield. He's looking where to go. A nice little juke and a almost stiff arm there.
20-yard rush there for Zachary Nielsen. Four yards short of halfway. Rhinos with trips out to the left. Play action pass
A
here. It'll be
QB draw
quarterback.
here. Nice
Keeper.
juke.
Hearn
And
with a
big
stiff arm. Breaking
And he's
free to
gone.
the open field, cutting back now in between the hashes. Hearn is gone. No
What a
flags on the
play.
field.
What a play.
Rhinos, they had their second touchdown of the day here in the second quarter.
That is some excellent play by the quarterback there. That first juke, the patience in the pocket, opens up a stiff arm, another juke, and a nice touchdown.
That Stiff arm was Heisman-esque.
That was very, very nice.
Get it from the rear angle here. Boom.
Interesting, it was with his opposite hand.
Yeah.
Pulled his left hand right across there for the stiff arm.
Well, the Rabbitohs are scheduled to play here at Sonico Stadium at some point in the next rugby league season. That was Greg Inglis like.
Very,
if I dare
very,
compare.
like...
See the timeout here. As we see the Brisbane Rhinos score there. Still early in the second, taking a 12-0 lead. 2-point conversion upcoming. It'll be interesting after their first PAT was blocked, if they'll go out, send out the offense to try and get 2 points.
I think you would take it up to a 2-score game, or at least needing a third score to take the lead.
You can see the Colts coaching staff as well. They're in support of Chris Powell, Samuel Harkness, Jesse Steele. Obviously their game's at the end of the day. So yeah, they're gonna have a long day here at Sunshine Coast Stadium. Coach Booker, of course, was here yesterday for the men's game as well, as was Sam Harkness. They're going to go back to the PAT. This time they make no mistake. Nope, cancel that. Wide right. So it looks good here, but apparently doesn't hit the mark. Slicing right. So the score remains 12-0. 2 unconverted touchdowns for the Rhinos, giving them the 12-point deficit. Or lead, I should say. That's been the difference between the two teams. Both of them are competing valiantly, but the Rhinos proving to have that big playability.
Yeah, we've seen 2 big plays by the Rhinos now, and the Raptors, unfortunately, struggling to get a complete drive together. But from what I've seen of them throughout the year, they do have the ability to make big plays. So I'm not ruling them out yet. It's still early in the second quarter.
Oh, back deep to return for the Raptors. Stephen Sheether and Clayton Coombs. Just bringing this ball back to the 30. The Rhinos kicker, Harry McGawley, trying to sneak an extra 5 outs. This is a high kick and will land at the 21. Fielded on the 1 hop. And Sheether trying to break some tackles, but the pursuit team is in his face early.
I think a bit of indecision of which way to go there is what stopped him from cutting loose.
Nevertheless, a decent starting position. The offense will jump on at their own 23-yard line. Substitution now for the Rhinos. Marcel Holofalau in on the defensive line. Rhinos showing blitz and sending quite a few. Curry under pressure, rolls away from it, and now we'll just use the speed to the outside. And Jack Lowe forces him out of bounds. Key
Nice
tackle
job
there, because if he missed, Curry was gone.
Yeah, it was a nice job to get a couple yards there. Again, that Rhinos D-line. Instant pressure.
Well, they said I had 3 down linemen and 2 outside linebackers. Sent both outside linebackers. And if they're going to do that, they want to sure as heck hope that their linebackers contain the quarterback. And to pick up a 4 on first down, 2nd and 6. Curry remains a quarterback. Play action pass. Looking for his man.
Nice
He's got
pass.
it.
And
Dimmick into the open field now. Past the 40, past the 30, 20, and taken down at the 17-yard line.
And as we said before, there's that big play. More than capable of it, and they've just flipped the field there.
Curry had to buy him some time there. Almost hitting Dimick with the MJ fadeaway. And just a big man. He's a lengthy tight end.
Deceptively quick.
Yeah, he's got that long stride, doesn't he? Well, for the first time, the Raptors are visiting the Rhinos red zone. Can they come away with points? Ball at the 18. Play action. Curry's got it again.
Nice
He's going to keep it.
there.
Trying to get to the 10. He'll get knocked out at the 13. I'll tell you what, that wide shot really showed of something I'll talk about now is the black line marking. And I'll tell you what, when I first heard about it and hadn't seen it, I was feeling a bit iffy. But geez, on this lovely field and on this glorious sunny day, the black really pops, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's something we talked about doing. We do like the white lines, but in a point of difference, we have kept with the black here on the coast.
Hang on, we'll hold on to that thought. Joshua Lee.
Nice little screenplay there. Unfortunate not to get the first.
As the Raptors continue to try to chip away here. Knocking on the door for the first time. Another play action box. Curry's got pressure on his face again. Throws it to the end zone. Almost grabbed.
Very unfortunate.
Would have been one heck of a catch from Dimick. Incomplete though. And now we've got third down. Nope, check that. Fourth down. And a timeout now to the Raptors. Wanting to make sure that they get a little more time to think over the play here. Here in their first visit. Now, you said you want a point of difference.
Second timeout, Raptors, 4 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the first half.
4:26 remaining here as the Raptors take their second timeout, but you said you wanted to go black for a point of difference. You guys are going a bit Boise State on us. You'll have an orange field next.
We wish. Yeah, no, the black lines, there were a lot of people that were quite iffy, but in the day, it's excellent, and the field we have here is immaculate. What, being biased here, would say the best in the league. The black stands out great, and even at night with the lights here in the stadium, not a drama at all. So, we're happy with how the field turned out, and yeah, do a little bit of difference.
Right. They can be whatever colour you want as long as I can see them.
Yeah.
Fourth down. Inches to go. The Raptors trying to keep this drive alive in the red zone for the first time. Dimick moves from left to right. Rhinos adjust. Curry surveying the defense. He'll try to hand this off. The Rhinos in quickly. That's a turnover on downs. The Rhinos win this one.
Yeah, tough break for the Raptors there. I think Rhinos were always going with a bit of a house blitz there.
Stuarella barely got the handoff. First down and 10, Rhinos. Scored on their last possession. Here comes Hearn, possibly hoping to back up what he did last drive with the impressive 35-yard touchdown. This time he'll hand it off. And just a short gain on the ground there to Nielsen to start things off for the Rhinos here midway through the second quarter. Second down now. Rhinos proven they can get it done
Another
a
handoff
multitude of
here.
ways. Raptors defense here gets a loss. Shall I say, makes a play for a loss. Eventually, Leonard McGuffey coming in for a play in the backfield. Rather narrow splits, the old Brisbane Rhinos.
Yeah, it's not your conventional wider split, so you know it must suit their playbook and the schemes that they're running.
Looking for a
Pass
pass now.
here.
3 vertical routes. They had it and lost it, I think.
I think the
Nielsen.
Raptors defender just got a hand in there to break that up.
Thought Nielsen might have made a play at that, but Schlatter was there on coverage. 3 verticals there, and maybe you're right. I think Nielsen was competing for it, but Schlatter got a hand to it.
A good job by our Raptors defense to get the 3 in out there. I think this is their opportunity to try and get a score going into the half.
Right. Was a big play on 3rd down, forcing the Rhinos to punt. Looks like it's Regan Holiday in. And it's another equipment violation. It's Leonard McGuffey told to exit the field.
Little
Just
errors
switch.
like that can play to be killers in the game.
Here we go. Rhinos don't waste a lot of time. They get a high punt off and it'll be fielded at the Raptors 40. It's lost and fortunately recovered for the Raptors and will be returned for 3 yards. That ball was high and in the sun.
It's a good job by the Rhinos punter there to get it up high in the sun, like you said. This bright, hot summer sun. It's a killer for the eyes with a big punt like that.
3-yard return there for Josiah Smith. First and 10. Raptors tonight, last drive, getting into the Rhinos red zone and turning the ball over on downs. Curry with the 1 complete pass so far. This time hands it off to Sheetha. And
It looked like they were going for a counter play there.
but unsuccessful. The Rhinos aren't hiding or even trying to disguise what they're doing. They're playing high pressure defense and forcing this Raptor offense to try to get around them. Moreton Bay with 2nd and 11. Deep drop here. Got a little bit of time. He throws it downfield.
and
He had an
just
open man.
overthrown.
Or shall I say open player and Kirsty's son. But the pass sails.
Great job by the Raptors O-line there. Allowing that big drop back. And I think this is the way the Raptors are going to beat the Rhinos here. They're stacking the box. They're sending a lot of pressure. And if they can hold just for that second to get players downfield, the pass game is going to open right up for them.
Well, they might have to go to a long pass again here on 3rd and 11. Syme, the targeted receiver last time. She's your near side wide receiver. Another deep drop, but he's under pressure. Curry still looking downfield, throws on the hop and has a receiver off the hands of Leonard McGuffey. The pass falls incomplete.
Very unfortunate again there.
Yeah.
A great sack escape there with the hop to throw.
But he always needs to, I know that, especially when you're an athlete, the trainer thought is to get to the outside, get to the outside. I think if he steps up there and trusts the back to come back and block for him, he probably had a better.
I think so. I think you are right watching that replay there. maybe needs to trust his speed a little bit more.
He's still relatively new. All these junior quarterbacks are new to the position, really. The pocket presence, particularly in 9-man, that'll come as the seasons wear on. And this punt will roll all the way to the end zone for a touchback. The Rhinos will take over at their own 20, but Raptors proving the shots are there, they just don't quite have the execution right now.
Yeah, I think that's probably the difference between the two.
56 seconds.
And the 2-minute warning there.
The Rhinos have executed on those few big plays and that have led to scores, and as I said earlier, the Raptors have that big play ability. It's just unfortunate flip of the coin that haven't paid off for them.
So 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Rhinos with a 12-0 lead. Touchdowns to quarterback Anthony Hearn and wide receiver and really utility Zachary Nielsen. Both long ranges. First and 10. Rhinos starting on their own 20. Anthony Hearn's back and he's alone in the backfield. A 5-wide set, low snap. Hearn gets rid of it quickly to Nielsen, over his head and through his hands. Incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. I think the Rhinos will be an interesting position here about if this is not a successful play here, they're going to try and keep this ball in bounds and try to chew off a couple of extra seconds here before giving the ball back to the Raptors.
I think so. I think if they unfortunate to get the first here, you may be looking to run that clock out and go into halftime with a 12-point lead.
No, I don't think if they can't get it here, you're going to be leaving them the time regardless. But of course, that depends on the result of this play. Nice pocket presence and a flag here, and I think there might be some defensive pass interference.
Yeah, I think so for sure.
Pass intended to Zachary Nielsen. And I think you can see the end result there. The defensive back will try to suggest it's incidental contact. We'll see on the wide shot here. Yeah, he's going to head around. I think it's a fair call. Let's see if they confirm it. Maureen Zawadzki with the call.
There's no foul on the field.
Interesting.
There it is. Incidental contact it is.
I think there was a case for both sides of the coin there.
So no flag, and now we go back to the original topic we were talking about. They've stopped the clock with an incomplete pass. 3rd down now. Do they keep it on the ground? That they do, but they fumble it in the exchange. Recovered though by Hearn. So ultimately they lose yardage, but they do get this clock running. The Raptors have one last timeout if they want to use it. I'm awfully surprised timeout wasn't called immediately.
Yeah, it's interesting. They may not know they have it. They may have thought they've spent their last one.
They've used 2 so far in this first half. Time is ticking down at 1:10. John Booker's pointing something out. Back deep to return for him is Max Schlatter. He's set up at halfway. I have no idea what we're waiting for. Rhinos now paying attention to the big screen.
I think they might have just been running time off the clock.
Rhinos. First team timeout in this half.
Clock run out all the way down to 1 second remaining in the play clock before taking a timeout. Again, interesting call by the Raptors not to save about 30 seconds. Anyways, we'll take a quick timeout ourselves, and I'll be back here for the final 44 seconds of the first half.
Omaha! Base! 20! 50's right. Move! Clear! Hold my high! They're down! 50's right!
Thank you again to Tribal Sport for that Tribal Sport timeout. And you and I were just discussing the Raptors. Interesting. Well, I think maybe it's a telling sign of the possible thought process of the Raptors here. Happy to let the Rhinos burn off 30 seconds, taking this clock down to 44.
Yeah, certainly it's interesting. So I think maybe they're saving it for this final drive.
The logic is there is each coach's values timeouts versus time very differently. Obviously, we're putting value on the 30 seconds there, but the Raptors clearly want to save that last timeout. And this is blocked at geniuses! It's a safety here, and I thought for a second Dimmick might have been able to recover that for a touchdown, but that'll be 2 points to the Raptors. They get on the board. Waiting for the official call, though.
It has been a weekend full of drama in these games. I'm loving it.
Is a safety.
Let's go get
Get the safety downs going. Raptors get on the board via a blocked punt safety. And all of a sudden now, they possibly look like geniuses for not taking that timeout. They'll have just under 40 seconds with a return and a timeout in pocket. So, something I tend to explain on every stream because this process is a little different to a lot of other codes of football. Similarly to the sport of rugby league there, if the ball goes out of bounds in a offense's own end zone there, they have to punt the ball back to the other team from their own 20-yard line, but in addition to that, the defending team is rewarded with 2 points. Oh, royalty's in the building. Ready for a big long day with me, we'll get to him later. Fresh from a 2-hour journey up from the Gold Coast. John Hollywood Rowe, ready for the rest of the day with me. This kickoff's going to go out of bounds. And the Raptors, well, again, we talk about possibilities here. They're going to possibly take a re-kick here. They might take the ball where it is, out of bounds, but field position now. The Raptors who've only had one, maybe two big plays there. Now, if they want to try and add a touchdown here, they have 40 seconds and about 60 yards to go.
I think they got the ability to get a bit of a drive
Out of
here.
bounds, Rhinos. 5 yards penalty will be added to the end of the kick. First down, Raptors.
If they can get outside that pocket, their quarterback has had the ability to get yards, even if it's 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, they're going to drive down the field.
So, first down after the 5-yard penalty is assessed. So the Raptors, they'll possess the ball last, we assume, saving for a turnover at their own 36. Curry.
Drops back to pass.
And he'll throw long, looking for wide receiver Landon McGuffey.
I think it's just a little bit underthrown there.
Yeah, well, McGuffey makes a valiant effort to come back for it. Can't reel it in though. I'll bring up 2nd and 10. And well, they took up about 5 seconds. Ball still in the Raptors 36. Curry, another deep 7-step drop. Rolls out to his right. Jack Lowe's going to chase him and he's going to take him down.
Unfortunate not to keep him in bounds there to keep that clock going. Bit of luck for the Raptors there, but yes, that was a big sack.
It's Jack Lowe, spelt L-O-E-W, not to be confused with the Jack Lowe in the Colts division,
Yes,
which
yes.
is L-O-W. Which is always fun to call when Jack Lowe plays up in the Colts. Third and long now. 26 seconds remaining here in the first half. Another deep drop from Kyrie. He's under pressure again. Needs to run for his life. Gets this ball out. Almost picked off by Nielsen at halfway, in fact. Falls incomplete. We've got fourth down, and the Raptors will punt this back to the Rhinos.
I think that was another opportunity where he could have trusted his own legs to get him the first down. He's rolled out of the pocket, potentially looking for the pass a little bit too much there. As you said, new to the game. These are the things you learn.
All the pressure the Rhinos are sending, I swear, even if you didn't have in your playbook, I'm adding a screenplay in for the second half.
Screen or a swing, either or. Something to combat that pressure.
Oh, bad snap. Dimmick picks it up, gets it onto the right foot.
And not a favourable punt then.
Picks up, yeah. Only about 5 yards on that punt, which is, well, it could have been a lot worse, but the Rhinos take over in Raptor territory in Hail Mary range. 13 seconds left on the clock. Rhinos have 2 timeouts.
I think take the shot while you're here.
Well, they don't have to go for the end zone. They've got 13 seconds, 2 timeouts. They've got the middle of the field if they want it. And we can do as many coaches say, go half and half. As head coach Jared Garrity was just on screen. Garrity family, huge part of the Raptors. And the Rhinos
And
look
offense
like
stopped right in the middle there.
they look like they're happy to
Run the clock out and then to head into halftime.
And that is the case. They're more than happy with a 10-point deficit. Well, they had 10-point lead. And here we are at halftime.
Halftime.
Zawadzki raises the ball up. So halftime here in game 1 of 4. Day 2 of the Gridiron Queensland SEQ playoffs. The Brisbane Rhinos here in the junior division, they lead the Moreton Bay Raptors by the score of 12 points to 2. Kenny Andres, Ben Goff here for GQTV. We'll take a short break. See you on the other side of halftime.
Omaha! Base! Period! Blue 20! 50's right. Blue! Clear! Omaha! They're down! 50's right!
Halftime here, ladies and gentlemen. We have a recap of the first half here. All the highlights from the first half here of the Rhinos. With trips out to the left. Play action pass
A
here.
QB draw here. Nice
Keeper.
juke.
Hearn
And
with a
big
stiff arm. Breaking free into the open field. Cutting back now in between the hashes. Hearn is gone. No flags on the field.
What a play.
Rhinos, they had their second touchdown of the day here in the second quarter.
That is some excellent play by the quarterback there. That first juke, the patience in the pocket, opens up a stiff arm, another juke, and a nice touchdown.
That stiff arm was Heisman-esque.
That was very, very nice.
Get it from the rear angle here. Boom.
Interesting, it was with his opposite hand.
Yeah.
Pulled his left hand right across there for the stiff arm.
And sending quite a few. Curry under pressure, rolls away from it, and now we'll just use the speed to the outside. And Jack Lowe forces him out of bounds. Key
Nice
tackle
job
there,
there.
because if he missed, Curry was gone.
Yeah, it was a nice job to get a couple yards there. Again, that Rhinos D-line. Instant pressure.
Well, they said I had 3 down linemen and 2 outside linebackers. Sent both outside linebackers. And if they're going to do that, they want to sure as heck hope that their linebackers contain the quarterback. Play action pass. Looking for his
And a
man.
nice
He's got
pass,
it.
and
It's Dimmick. Dimmick into the open field now. Past the 40. Past the 30. 20. And taken down at the 16, 17-yard line.
And as we said before, there's that big play. More than capable of it, and they've just flipped the field there.
Curry had to buy him some time there. Almost hitting Dimmick with the MJ fadeaway. Just a big man. He's a lengthy tight end.
Deceptively quick.
Yeah, he's got that long stride, doesn't he? Another play action pass. Curry, he's got pressure in his face again. Throws it to the end zone. Almost grabbed.
Very unfortunate.
Would have been one heck of a catch from Dimmick. Incomplete though. And now we've got 3rd down. Nope, check that. 4th down. And a timeout now to the Raptors. Wanting to make sure that they get a little more time to think over the play here. Here in their first visit. Surveying the defense. He'll try to hand this off. The Rhinos in quickly. That's a turnover on downs. The Rhinos win this one.
Yeah, tough break for the Raptors there. I think Rhinos were always going with a bit of a house blitz there.
Here we go. Rhinos don't waste a lot of time. They get a high punt off. It'll be fielded at the Raptors 40. It's lost and fortunately recovered for the Raptors and will be returned for 3 yards. That ball was high and in the sun.
It's a good job by the Rhinos punter there to get it up high in the sun, like you said. This bright, hot summer sun. It's a killer for the eyes with a big punt like that.
3-yard return there for Josiah Smith. Your near side wide receiver. Another deep drop, but he's under pressure. Curry still looking downfield, throws on the hop and has a receiver off the hands of Lennon McGuffey. The pass falls incomplete.
Very unfortunate again there.
Yeah.
A great sack escape there with the hop to throw.
But it almost needs the, I know especially when you're an athlete, the train of thought is to get to the outside. 3rd down now. Do they keep it on the ground? That they do, but they fumble it in the exchange. Recovered though by Hearn. So ultimately they lose yardage, but they do get this clock running. The Raptors have one last timeout if they want to use it. And this is blocked at geniuses. It's a safety here, and I thought for a second Dimmick might have been able to recover that for a touchdown. But that'll be 2 points to the Raptors. They get on the board. Waiting for the official call though.
It has been a weekend full of drama.
Curry, another deep 7-step drop. Rolls out to his right. Jack Lowe's going to chase him and he's going to take him down.
Unfortunate not to keep him in bounds there, to keep that clock going. Bit of luck for the Raptors there, but yes, that was a big sack.
It's Jack Lowe, spelt L-O-E-W, not to be confused with the Jack Lowe in the Colts division,
Yes,
which
yes.
is L-O-W. Which is always fun to call when they're...
Either or, something to combat that pressure.
Oh, bad snap. Dimmick picks it up, gets it onto the right foot.
And not a favourable punt then.
Picks up, yeah. Only about 5 yards on that punt, which is Well, it could have been a lot worse, but the Rhinos take over in Raptor territory in Hail Mary range. 13 seconds left. They kick off to the Raptors, who deferred their first half option. This one is in the hands of Steven Sheether. Looking across field to pick up some blocks, breaks the tackle, cutting back into Jack Lowe, who's been a surefire tackler this entire game. By my count, hasn't missed one. Albeit, he almost looked like he was the one tackled in that play. And it looks like Xander Corey will be staying in the quarterback. Declan Garrity, the big 6'4", 14-year-old quarterback. He will stay on the sidelines. He is injured. I think they will use him very sparingly. He got out of last game injured. They took him to hospital the next day to check over ligament damage. It was all soft tissue, and they got the clearance to play him today, but I think they're being very cautious. And we're going to see our first penalty of the second half. Flags were thrown. I think it's going to be a delay game. Is the case. Offense taking a bit too long. But yeah, more on Garrity. He's the nephew of head coach Jared Garrity, of course, Jason Garrity's son, young lad. So, once again, I mentioned earlier the Garrity family, how big they are as far as the runnings of Raptor football. But he's not a small bloke at 14, standing at 6'4".
Rather large 14-year-old.
And here we go. Sheether on the jet sweep. Tries to turn on the accelerator and get north, but maybe picks up a yard. This makes the second 11. Sheether in the backfield. He'll take his first pass of the second half. Once again under pressure by Hardacker, and he'll just have to run with this. Gets him back and past the original line of scrimmage, picking up 2 yards in the process. But
Beginning to trust his own legs there a little bit, I think.
And that's a regular occurrence. They just have that outside linebacker blitzing in. Not to put on my own coaching hat, but by this time I would have had a receiver given a nice solid crack block just to make him think twice. 4 wide receivers. Another deep drop. Cuffed by Curry. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to get taken down by Hardacker. They'll blow it dead, but also in on the play is Darsal Tuamavave. Young nephew of big Joe Tuamavave in the men's division for the Rhinos.
So not a good start there by the Raptors though. 3 and out to begin the first drive. That Rhinos defense, that D line creating pressure as it has all first half.
And it looks like Angus Dimmock will be back into punt, but they're going a bit risk reward, aren't they? They know they're getting blitzed and they're trying to beat it by some of these deep passes. Not sure if they can get the protection to get the ball off, their odds on, but Curry is seeing a lot of pressure in his face. Speaking about pressure in his face, Dimmock's taken down. The snap was short and he had to bend over to pick it up. The Rhinos will take over on downs in a very, very favorable position. And Dimmock is down.
I think they had problems with the snap in the first half as well. I think they were lucky to get the ball off with the kick last time. This time, not so lucky.
Long snappers. Wallaby Raptors number 71, Trent Kembry. It's a difficult one, and I'm always a little more patient in the junior divisions and regarding some of those sort of special team areas, because it's a skill you really have just got to practice constantly, and a lot of the time it's on the specialists themselves to really take over their own practice there, because you just don't have a whole lot of time in the allotted 4 hours a week to practice some of those key skills.
It's probably something that's overlooked a little bit, just a little bit much. And as you said, it's probably more on the player themselves to hone that skill than it is to take time from, you know, the limited practice that we have each week.
Well, the Rhinos gifted with a good field position here, only 16 yards out from Pato. And the Raptors, after the change of possession, they're going to take a timeout here and talk a little more about it. So with the timeout there, the Rhinos, halftime score unchanged, 12 points to 2. Rhinos looking to add to that here on the upcoming drive. And we'll take a short ad break while they do. Be right back.
Omaha! Face! Julius! Move 20! 50's right. Move! Clear! Omaha! They're down! 50's right!
And we're back. We're just blessing the glorious day here at the Sunny Coast Stadium. I thought for a second we might have been seeing a bit of rain this morning. We had a bit of a sun shower, but alas, we've finally broken the hoodoo. GQ playoffs in the sun. Hearn scored a touchdown on the ground in the first half. We'll take this inside the 5.
We see some excellent play out of him today. He's definitely won me over. Quite an athlete. That athletic ability is enough to carry yourself in these junior divisions, and he's really showcasing his skills.
Just needs to get that ball to the outside arm.
Yeah.
And but we were admiring his ability to break tackles in the first half, and you and I actually spent a few minutes talking about that impressive stiff arm that he used to get himself free for the 30-yard touchdown. Rhinos at the Raptors 4. Hearn, it'll be a QB keeper again. Looking for TD number 2. Won't be on this play. Picks up a yard. Just quarterback power on that play. More cubic. A lead using Nielsen as a lead blocker. Change in the backfield. Regan Holiday now in at tailback here at the goal line. And it's another keeper. This time it's a read option. Cuts it back inside. Dives over the goal line. Touchdown, Rhinos. Anthony Hearn in for his second on the day.
You see him roll out here. He's perfectly reads his blockers there, cuts back in, and a nice little dive over for the touchdown.
Quarterback Anthony Hearn, his second on the ground at 3rd total. He was only through the screen pass to Zachary Nielsen to open up the scoring in the first quarter. And a blocked PAT, their second blocked PAT today. And impressive ability to play to the whistle there from Darcel Tilmavave. And this is another PAT. They'll go begging. Score now reads 18 points to 2. I'll tell you what, I'm actually very impressed with the coaching staff to persist with it. And I mean, logic states to go for 2 with the way things have fallen out, but they're trying to develop this kicking game, and they're also showing a lot of faith in their special teams unit by going back to them after a blocked PAT. So that's going to give you a lot of confidence, knowing the coaches are more than happy to send you back out to give it another crack.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something you got to keep going on with. You can't just give up on it. As you said, it hasn't favoured them today, but if they keep going the way they are, they'll definitely punch their ticket to the Sun Bowl, and I think that kicking game is one thing that can win them a game in the Sun Bowl.
We certainly know how key special teams can be. So ask the Ravens from last night. This one will be fielded by Schlatter. Schlatter trying to find some space, gets past the 30 and eventually is tackled at the Raptors 34. I think he's probably been most impressive on defense today, Schlatter. He's had a couple of key open field tackles.
He has. He's quite, as he said, on the opposite side of the team. He's either side of the ball. Sorry, he's got that ability to make plays. He's got that open field speed as well. So I'm excited to see if he can make a big play here on the offense.
Huddling now. The Raptors now. Obviously, pretty much almost a full half to play. We're about midway through the second, so make that a quarter and a bit, quarter and a half. But any reason to panic here for the Raptors now down 18-2?
I think a little bit of urgency may be key on this drive. I think if they fail to make something out of this drive, you definitely want to be entering panic mode.
Nice Josh Lee there on a reception on the far side sideline. We've talked a lot about the men's games yesterday, but also starting the day yesterday for us was the women's division, which was a fantastic game, a 4-point victory to the Griffith University Thunder.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very enjoyable game to watch. As we spoke earlier, that the women's division's really growing and the quality of the game's getting better every year. So it was quite an entertaining game, a bit of a slugfest, but congrats to the Thunder for getting through the Sun Bowl.
Yeah, more on women's football after this. Another deep drop from Curry, who's once again flushed to his right, will be forced to run, and he cops a shot. A run out of bounds after one of the Rhinos defenders coming in and making a play. He might have been Hardaker once more. Indeed it was. Not afraid to throw his weight around. But yeah, something we'll discuss in it, and I think they're actually going to organise a whole league photo about this, but the Colts and junior divisions feature a lot of young girls who we hope will be stepping up into the women's divisions in years to come.
Yeah, it's really good to see that the younger girls getting involved in the game. Obviously, when they get to the age, they can play in the senior women division, but it's good to see girls getting into these junior divisions, mixing it with the boys, showing that they can hang.
Curry with a long pass. He's got his target. Down inside the 30. Wide receiver Joshua Lee with the second reception on the drive.
And there's that big playability coming through for the Raptors.
It was a high snap. Curry did well. That time he had a little bit of time. Did get hit as he threw, but found his man all the way downfield. That's a 34-yard reception. I'll actually make that 32. But yeah, almost every team in the juniors and Colts divisions features at least one girl, and that's huge for our women's division upcoming. And I know for a fact that a couple of the mothers have got all the girls competing in the Colts and juniors up to the sunny coast today to try and take a group photo, which hopefully might be a pretty historic photo to come with some of the girls who I certainly hope stay in the sport.
Yeah, it's an awesome thing to see, and we always talk about junior and Colts football being the future of our league, so it's an awesome thing to see the younger girls getting involved at such a young age. They can get that 3 to 4 years of experience for when they hit the senior women's division.
Jackson Eason with a tackle for a loss there, the Rhinos. I tell you what, if you isolate their defense on first down, they've been pretty damn outstanding. But yeah, not wrong. Try to get that on stream. I think they're planning on doing that after the Stingrays junior game, even if it's just on camera. But it's great to see them, almost seeing themselves as a sorority themselves, as different teams, but a whole new generation of young girls or young women hoping to make a difference in this sport. Curry under pressure.
Escapes a sack.
He's down the left-hand sideline now. Will run straight into one of the biggest men on the park. Oh, I admire his bravery, but woo, he just gave that defender a free shot there. Jackson Eason back-to-back plays. Boom. Third down now. 8 yards.
Those hits hurt. Those ones hurt. You got to lower those shoulders.
They just, especially if you're going up against a bigger man. Curry. And a timeout here for the Raptors, I think. Garrity, knowing how important these drives are now, they're inside Rhinos half of the field. Okay, and just getting the official timeout call there, but I wanted to take a little extra time here. Of course, the one time they got inside the Rhinos red zone in the first half, they were turned away on a turnover and downs. Rhinos managing to defend their goal line.
Unfortunate not to score before, but I think at this point of the drive, this point of the game, it's smart to take a timeout here. It's 3rd down and long, and I think this is 4 down territory here if they're going to make a run to get into this game.
Quite possibly. We just saw on the screen just a second ago the two teams for the next game warming up, the Gold Coast Stingrays and Sunshine Coast Spartans. Sunshine Coast Spartans will be able to play playoff football on their own home turf. Curry looking for someone short now. He's going to have to rush again.
Oh no.
He throws this ball away, trying to get it to his running back. It floats on him though, and that'll bring up a 4th down. I think it's one of those situations. Oh, well, no, Hardacker, it's a bit of a... He shows blitz initially, then follows the running back, so well done there by the outside defender. I was going to say he probably needed to hit the running back early, but the running back was covered.
Here we are, 4th down. They're going to go for it.
Let's see if he keep his eyes downfield here. He's been under a lot of pressure, and that naturally brings your focus closer and closer to the line of scrimmage. Looking downfield now, he's trying to find his man. It's Lee, and it's overthrown Lee. I don't think he realized how much arm his quarterback had. And we'll see if we can get a replay on the wide shot, because he had a couple of receivers downfield. I think we're going to get a wide shot replay here. And you look at the near side of wide receiver here, and the running back out of the flat. There was an opportunity down the middle of the park there for probably an easier throw too, but I think he had his mind made up pre-snap.
Interesting to see the Rhinos defense didn't send much pressure on that down just then. They actually dropped back, which allowed him to have the pressure. Maybe he thought pick a target to expecting the pressure.
And the 1st and 10. Nielsen, no. It's picked up by Hearn. Hearn hurdles the defender. Now shaking and baking at the 30. And we'll get this to the 34-yard line. As, he
Some
makes
issues with the snap today.
Well, I think it's almost been the exchange more than the snap for the Rhinos, hasn't it?
Yes, you are right. But still, Hearn there showing his ability, turn what could have been, you know, a big mistake into a 8-9 yard gain.
End of the quarter coming to a close now, as Hearn
QB
will just
keeper.
keep this. Runs to the weak side, away from his running back, and it's more than enough for a 1st down. He gets us just short of halfway. And Nielsen, oh, look at the block there from Nielsen. There's a crack block I talked about. I said the Raptors should consider doing something like that to try and get him to the outside. That's
Raptors
some great
might need
plays
to take
on.
some notes there.
Nothing more shocking as a linebacker with your eyes in the backfield with a ball carrier.
And you get smacked from the side.
Getting
Yeah.
hold from the side. Of course, you can't e-hold nowadays, but getting that blindside shot. Oh,
big
speaking about
tackle there.
shots. Coming in for a play is Lennon McGuffey. Raptors, they send 4.
He came screaming through that line there. No one was going to stop him.
And that's put the Rhinos in a hole here on second down. So they'll have to wait till the fourth quarter to assess how they'll do this. The sides will swap for the final time this game. At quarter time, the Raptors are still trailing. We'll take a quick break. I'll be back here for the fourth quarter very shortly. We're back. Play is back underway here in the fourth quarter. Strong run up the middle to get them back to the original starting position. Actually, within a couple yards. So now it's got them back to third and reasonable in the grand scheme of things. And we've got taken injury time out here. A Raptor is down. I'll also take this opportunity that, of course, to acknowledge that it is Remembrance Day, 11th of November, in a very particular Remembrance Day, 100 years since
Yes,
World
it
War I
is,
has
yeah.
ended. So it's a very significant one today. And at 11 o'clock, we will, whether we're in the game or in between games, we will cease action and we will observe 1 minute silence to just take the time to acknowledge and remember all the upstanding ladies and gentlemen who have paid the ultimate price and keeping us safe and allowing us to really enjoy this nation, all the nations we all come from, the way we do today. And the Raptor is up and walking back, so that is about 20 minutes away, 18 in fact, and we will get the entire stadium to observe that with us on stream. Hearn under pressure, throws downfield. He's got an open man in Nielsen, just out of his
misses
reach
the
though.
catch.
Did a good job at keeping his eyes downfield in the face of the Raptor rush. Just puts a bit too much on it though. Fourth down now. Raptors don't look like they're going to punt. Send Hearn back in with a play. Going for it here. From the Raptor 49. Sorry, 44. We playing a 90-yard field, Kenny. Another crack block here. They're going to trust Hearn to use his legs. It pays off. He's got the first. And taken down around the 26-yard line.
Another great play by Hearn there.
It's the same play there. Inside receiver, setting the edge and letting Hearn use his athleticism. Ball now on the Raptors 29. 3 wide receivers. Nielsen in motion. They'll give it to him on the jet sweep. He's trying to find the sideline. Breaks the tackle. Gets upfield now. Gets past the first down marker and has run out of bounds around the 16. Flags down, far sideline. Well, they've got plenty of athletes who can get to the edge.
I think that's the play they've been trying to get you there for a couple of times now with the fumble exchange. But as you said, yeah, plenty of athletes on this team. You know, Hearn's a superstar in his own, but if he can get his ball to his teammates, they can do just as good a work.
Looks like we've lost the official's audio there. Florian Zawalski there giving us the call. And it's against the Rhinos, and that'll move them back all the way back to the 38. First down, Rhinos. Last play rubbed out. Speed option now. Out to the left. Change the tail back. Great speed on display. Getting forward is Regan Holiday. He's out at the 25. Second down and a long 5. One of the combatants yesterday, Warwick Russell, is another Sunshine Coast native. Popped in to watch some junior football and steal some air conditioning. Trips right, Rhinos. Regan Holiday still the back, he'll get another ball. Out to the right hand he goes, uses the stiff arm and the circle button. Gets it inside the 20.
I think he's got enough for the first down there.
Raptor down at the 25. Some of the Raptors now. Look, they've suited up pretty much everyone today, but they've. I think a lot of these players have probably had to valiantly fight through. As I said, they had to forfeit a game last week in week 12 against the Rhinos, despite being ahead, because they went down on numbers. And the player walks it off now, but it's number 13, Leonard McGuffey. But whilst they're all kitted up here, I doubt a lot of these players are 100%, so I'm figuring a lot of these players are playing through a bit of pain today, my guess is.
Yeah, I think that it comes to play of football, you got to give everything you can, even if you're not 100%, so you got to admire their fighting spirit.
Speed option to the left. It's Holiday again. Holiday has been a real spark for the Rhinos here in the fourth quarter. He's down about 2 yards out. Well, the speed option, they used it sparingly in the first half, and it's become a key play for them here as they try to eat some clock here in the fourth quarter. You see the lovely blue skies here. It's on the Sunshine Coast. And, a rare GQ Sunday. I'll go as far as saying this is the first time in at least a decade, possibly ever, that Gridiron Queensland has hosted a game on a Sunday. I don't think even AGL games have been played on Sundays. Another pitch out to Holiday. Holiday beating the defense with a pure speed. Goes backward to go forward and eventually gets into the end zone. The Rhinos, they might have found a dagger on that play. And, well, as far as assessment goes, mate, there's not a whole lot of coaching points to take out of that.
No, I think you got Jez Savage there, number 43. I think he just maybe bit in a little bit too quick there. Probably could have sat to the outside, forced the running back to cut back in, but I think his speed was just a little bit too much.
Hey, here we go. Here's the reverse. Nielsen matched up with Sheether, and Nielsen will win that foot race. 2 points on the board to add to their 6. Rhinos now with a commanding lead in the fourth quarter, 26 points to 2.
And I do love a bit of trickery. I do love those trick plays.
What I love about football nowadays, and obviously college football's always been like this, but watching the NFL now, it feels like every team's got at least one sort of trick play, an end around, a reverse, at least
The
a
Philly
jet sweep.
special.
And once upon a time, I think, around the mid-2000s, the late noughties, offensive football got pretty vanilla, and it's nice to see a bit of excitement back in, particularly with some of these younger head coaches at the NFL level, and obviously a lot of the coaches here in Gridiron, Queensland, and all across Gridiron in Australia. A lot of them have that sneaky back page.
Yeah, it definitely adds
Trick plays.
that excitement to the game. It's something a little bit extra. It's a short kickoff here.
It's field. No, it's
Fumbled.
The Rhinos might have got on this. We've got another red ball. Nope. Raptors recovered. Jumping on that is Joshua Lee. Good hustle. Yeah, you won that battle for the football. Darcel Tuamavave trying to fight for it, and he might have actually got a bit knocked up trying to recover that. An injury timeout for the Rhinos as young Darcel Tuamavave gets looked over. So also takes after Joe as far as being a good clubman as well. I've been to Mitchelton a few times this season to cover games, and I've seen him all around the club doing a lot of the volunteer work, whether he's manning a barbecue or setting up the field. He's a
Yeah, and they're the kind of people we want in our league, especially those workhorses. There's a lot of behind the scenes action that goes into a game being on, and it's good to have those people that want to go above and beyond. Sorry.
And while Darcel's being looked at, we actually had a Raptor down as well. Angus Dimmick getting attention from the staff, and looks like he's going to limp off now as well. While he limps off, we might take a quick break. Be back very shortly.
Omaha! Face! Julius! Blue 20! 50's right. Blue! Clear! Omaha! They're down! 50's right!
Back here with 5 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Time is 10:52 here on the Sunshine Coast. Big hello to everyone tuning in wherever you may be, interstate or international. And of course, those who could be very well tuning in from the stadium themselves. This is a long bomb from Curry.
Ooh,
Pass
it
intended.
might be a case for a pass interference there. You
Yeah.
think?
Sam Holloway was the intended receiver. He didn't seem to protest a whole lot. And it looks like we might be getting a review. And we'll take a look. Well, looking after that part of the field is Joe Goslin, and we talked about a lot of the young girls in the junior divisions there. For a long time, we've had a lot of key women leading some of the officials there. Barbara, a long time official, she actually headed over for the Women's World Cup. Joe Goslin's been in as long as I've been remember. As I can remember, I should say. We're getting confirmation now Referees are filtering it down. It looks like there could be a DPI here. Let's take a look at it on replay one more time. Curry with his eyes downfield, and I think there is case for a call.
I think you could question whether the pass is going to be caught, but then on the flip of the coin, it looked like he maybe was cutting back to get the ball when he's made contact there.
After review, we have a defensive pass interference. On the defense, number 21 will add 15 yards to the previous spot, play an automatic first down.
Of course, that is something that the booth can review because it's a penalty that will result in at least 15 yards.
Yeah, it's a new rule to me, but it's nonetheless an opportunity, and you know, it's always a bit frustrating being a coach and having calls like that not go your way. So
first down and 10 Raptors. Trailing by 24 in the fourth quarter. Another deep drop and hit as he throws. And that will fall incomplete. Rhino sideline having a bit of fun with that. And Curry, who was hit whilst passing, he's down. Helmet's off now. He's in considerable pain.
those blindside backside hits can be more painful than what they seem.
In a few minutes, Zoran Zawolski will be ceasing action as we look to observe a minute's silence for Remembrance Day. And Curry is up. Matter of fact, he's swagging his way back to his huddle, as a good leader would. So he'll have to go out for a play. And let's see how they handle the quarterback situation. Will Declan Garrity get in? Well, doesn't seem to be the case though. Taking the snap, I think, is Stephen Sheether. The usual running back. He'll keep it himself. He'll find some space. Here goes Sheether on his first snap at quarterback. He'll get into the end zone. Raptors won't be denied. And Sheether might have pulled a cuff. Touchdown to Raptors with 5 minutes remaining in the game.
Looks like Coach Booker could have thrown a review flag in here, or a challenge flag I should say. And I think it'll be for the block in the back right at the end of the play there.
Rookie mistake.
We'll interrupt the game for Remembrance Day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a stoppage in play here because, of course, today is Remembrance Day, of which it has a special significance in 2018. Today, Sunday, the 11th of November 2018, marks the 100th anniversary of the armistice, which ended the First World War. But victory had come at a heavy cost. They suffered almost 48,000 casualties during 1918, including more than 12,000 dead. In the 4 years of the war, more than 330,000 Australians had served overseas, and more than 60,000 of them had died. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding as we observe a minute's silence in a memory of those who've died or suffered in all wars and armed conflicts. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. All right, a very significant part of our culture and our history that we recognize that every 11th of November. Several of those actions allowed us to do many of the things we do today, including play football, which we will resume now. Back to the action, though. The Raptors, not saying die, but we do have a review. Challenge flag was thrown out, looking for a potential block in the back, which could wipe off this penalty, or wipe off this touchdown.
Yeah, we've talked most of the game about Seether being a playmaker, and we finally get to see his ability and his athleticism there. We do hope he is okay. He did take a bit of a fall at the end of that play. They looked to be in a bit of pain, so hopefully we get an update on...
Correction, there was no challenge. That block in the back was not a reviewable foul. Play stands as called, result of the play, touchdown.
And there it is. And that has been a bit of a... has led to a bit of an awkwardness as far as both coaches and the staff, learning about what is reviewable. And blocking the back in that situation, it doesn't result in a 15-yard foul, therefore it is not reviewable. Much similar to the situation last night where one team tried to review the down count.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a... there's the growing pains, as we said, with any change in expansion of the league, but I think it's a welcome change, as we've said here.
And I think there was a pretty decent case for it, to be honest. So the Raptors, pretty fortunate that play wasn't reviewable, as Curry here on the two-point conversion is looking for the pylon. He'll get it. The score now 26-10. That is 2 converted touchdowns, the difference.
And Raptors not dying yet. Showing what they have, and this is probably what they've been missing all game. What a time to turn it on.
Well, what about the play there by Sheether? Thrown in a quarterback, to my knowledge, hasn't played a whole lot of it. Does his job perfectly and not only gets a good play, rips off a 37-yard touchdown.
Yeah, I think, don't know what the Rhinos defense would have been expecting there. But nonetheless, a great play by the Raptors, and that another big play, as we've been saying all day. Both teams have the ability to make them. So let's see if the Raptors can continue the comeback and make a final stand here.
26-10. 16 points is currently the mountain they'll need to climb in 5 minutes.
Do you think it's too early for the onside?
5 minutes remaining, and it's hard to say. I mean, Raptors they've also had to use their timeouts throughout the half here as well. So sometimes that.
I think it's coming to the time where you've got to go big risk, big reward here.
You've got to think about it. Those are the type of decisions I don't miss making. Well, in any case, the Rhinos, they've got 4 on the front line. The second line has creeped up just a little bit in case of an attempted onside here. Is it a shorter looking run up here for Lennon McGuffey? It was Angus Dimmick, the usual kicker, but he's left the game injured. And he will
Bit of a
drive
squib
it
kick.
long. It's Nielsen with ball in his right arm, trying to use that speed. He slips over and he had a whole bunch of blockers ahead of him. That could have been
a
dangerous.
very big play, yes.
Yeah, but and he throws his arms in the air. He knows it could have been something special, but the Sunshine Coast Bull Ant comes up and adds a tackle to its stat sheet. Got to say, the Sunny Coast Council have done a fantastic job looking after this field.
Yeah, it's a very good field. I think it's got about $1 million irrigation system, so they take a lot of pride in this field. And as I said a little bit earlier in the broadcast, I would argue it's the best field in our league and potentially in Southeast Queensland.
I'd like to think Mr. Flannery of the Sunny Coast Falcons probably tend to agree. Here goes Hearn. Hearn's been dangerous on the ground. He gets this ball to his own 40. Both teams in the upcoming game have finished their warm-ups. They're into their own sheds now, and that's another thing we haven't talked about, the shed situation. Generally, we've got some sort of crazy game of Tetris going on between the teams of figuring out which team's exiting, which team's entering. We have the joy of having multiple change rooms.
Yeah, it's been good with the 4 change rooms downstairs, and it's made that that little bit easier for teams to get in and out. They each have their own space, not having to rush in and out. It's just another tick for the great facilities we have here at the Sunshine Coast Stadium.
3rd down and 3 now after that short gain on the ground. The Rhinos, with a couple of first downs here, could put this game out of reach. Trips right. Coach Booker special. It's a rollout here now. Oh, what an angle!
Big play by McGuffey there.
McGuffey took the perfect angle. That's something Hearn's usually been able to evade this game. Not this time.
It's interesting to see as you see he walks back there, the huddle. He has been limping for some considerable time now, and he's still able to push through that pain and make big plays like that.
We can see him down almost on his haunches now. There's something about player football, knowing that this very well could be your last game, that as you dig in through and getting a bit of an aerial formation here, a couple of the planes above. And funnily enough, we've got a man who knows all about that here in the commentary box. And a short kick here from Nielsen. Well, it's not short so much as low, but it's actually a fantastic punt.
A nice
Will
end
roll
over
its
end punt
way
there.
to the 13. Just like he drew it up, you'll say. 26-10 at 2 minutes 40. Not undoable. But the time for playing methodically is now out the window for the Raptors.
Yeah, it's time to start taking some shots here.
And aggression's going to be dialed up to 10. Any trick plays they have, now's the drive to do it. And McGuffey, he might be at the end of his rope here. He's limping his way to the sideline. Impressive stuff by the young man. Double tight formation for Corey's Raptors.
Rhinos stacking the box here.
And they're going to try and get Curry as much time as possible, but the Rhinos, they don't care. They sent everyone they got there. The Raptors brought in 2 tight ends to try to give them a little more time. But part of the logic is for every blocker you keep in,
There's
the other
someone
team
else
can
coming
send
in,
another
yes.
rusher. It's a bit of a game of cat and mouse, isn't it?
I think it's a good job by the Raptors offense to make that adjustment and bring the tight ends in to try and prevent the pressure coming from the Rhinos D-line there.
There's the 2-minute warning call for the second half. 2 minutes remaining in the game. First of 2 junior semi-finals today. Curry, his feet just shy of his own end zone, will throw off his back foot. Nowhere in the vicinity of his receiver, unfortunately. Pass intended though for Ty Baker.
I think he was feeling the heat there.
Ty Baker was a key receiver back in week 7, the last time we featured juniors on GQTV. Has been awfully quiet today. Matter of fact, I don't know how often he's been on the field. I think he's one of the players, as Hearn is starting to feel it. We're seeing him get his dance on the field. But yeah, Ty Baker is had limited reps today, I think. They're trying to throw him on now and hope he can help him pull off a miracle. Play action, and Curry's going to keep it. He's got Baker in front of him, trying to get to the sideline, and quarterback on quarterback. Hearn takes him out around the 15. Might have got to the 16.
I think that was a good play call there to combat the pressure the Rhinos defense has been bringing. Fortunate not to get that key block on the side there.
Won't have to wait long for the second game. Game 2 of the juniors division between the Gold Coast Stingrays and the Sunshine Coast Spartans will kick off at 11:30. Just under 20 minutes from now. As far as this game goes though, 1 minute 48 remaining. And I think that's Curry down on the Raptors sideline. Another player who's just put everything he's had in today's performance.
Yeah, I think it's a real testament to the strength that the Raptors players have. As you said last week,
Punt blocked. Recovered here by the Rhinos.
Oh, and there's got some
Rhinos.
blockers.
And there's the
And that's
icing
a
on the
touchdown.
cake. And he hopes the Raptors had of snaking this game away. The Rhinos have taken away. Zachary. No, sorry, not Zachary. Number 20, Harry McGawley. Running in on the left side pylon for the special teams touchdown.
Another great special teams play.
Two punt blocks in the game today, one from each team. Another PAT attempt.
And
This
they've
one
got
is
that
up.
one.
This one's good. And I think that's important. I think that would have been a preaching point from the coaching staff there that whilst it ultimately probably doesn't affect the game there, it's not a play that's worked very well for us. We need to go out there and we want to finish with good execution on that play. So
That's it. So that's good to see. And as I was saying before, despite the score, you've got to give credit to the Raptors players. As you look out on the field, a lot of them have gone down. A lot of them are battling through niggles, injuries, and it's a true testament to their spirit, putting it all on the line for playoff football. As you said, it's do or die. This is the last opportunity they have to play for the year, so you've got to give them credit when credit's due. it's just unfortunate, things didn't go their way today, this game. But I think they have the foundations to be a great program.
Well, they've given it a mighty good dig, and of course, they're at the start of a bit of a growth period, the Raptors, the club as a whole. See this kickoff get run out around 34, but obviously a junior team here in 2018, 2019, the goal is to add a Colts team and hopefully get that feeder system going eventually to the men's.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking with Jason, Raptors president, this morning, he's made a real emphasis of trying to change and build a new culture within the club, hence the new colours you've seen with the Raptors this year. And he's definitely for building towards the future. So it was unfortunate they didn't get a Colts team this year, but his plan is to bring in both next year, and they have a great youth program down there as well.
I'll tell you what, Xander Curry, I think, at age 16, will be turning 17 next year. Obviously, in Colts age division, they're got a pretty good building block there. They've got a quarterback to start with. This pass falls incomplete as Curry looks like Curry still hasn't moved on the far side of the field.
Which is unfortunate to see. He's had such a great game. He's, balled out, put his heart out there, and it's not nice to see them, with a potentially serious injury.
He could be. I think he could just be spent, to be honest.
That is true, yes.
Yeah, they've got a couple of 16-year-old players in this Moreton Bay Raptors side, which could be real building blocks for them as they try to establish a Colts side next year. Of course, the Raptors are one of the busiest Pee-wee teams in the league as well. And some of the Pee-wee programs that's been set, and this is a pass completed by
great
Sheetha.
catch.
He's broken it away! Into the end zone goes Max Schlatter! So in about 5 snaps of playing quarterback, Sheetha has got a long-range rushing touchdown and now adds a passing touchdown to his name.
That's great to see. Snatched the ball right out of the defender's hands. I think it could have gone either way there.
Oh, but how good is it to see the desire still in these Raptors?
That fighting spirit, never say never.
The game's done, but you couldn't tell them. Two-point conversion upcoming. Another quick replay before they attempt the 2-point conversion. It wasn't the prettiest ball. It was a dying duck, really, but it got there and the receiver did the rest of the work. Slater again. Now he's going to pass on the 2-point conversion. That one not so successful. Getting in and making the play is Hardaker. He's been huge for the Rhinos today. In for a couple of sacks, plenty of tackles for losses, and has been in the face of Curry all morning. .113 remaining.
Could potentially see an onside kick here. The Raptors still think they have a shot.
Why wouldn't you? Just look at them. You survey the front line. You just try to spy who you think is the most uncomfortable handling the football, and you drill it right at them. Of course, they've done it, albeit unintentionally so far today.
The first play of the game, yeah.
Of course, the man who pulled it off, Dimmick, has unfortunately left the game and didn't return. So the responsibility falls to number 13, Lachlan McGuffey, who's served primarily as a wide receiver today.
Delay of game. Kicking team. 5 yards penalty. Free kick.
That's something I
have not seen that call in a long time.
cross that off my commentary bucket list, delay a game on the kicking team, which I guess is possible. Well, as I said, they took too long getting the kicking tee out there, or if you throw the ball away, plenty of possibilities and ways it can happen. So now they'll onside kick, we assume, from the 25. Nope, they'll drill it.
And that's gone out there.
It's gone out of bounds. If that was rugby league, that would have been amazing.
I think that is one interesting rule that took me a little bit to adjust, was rather than getting the ball back kicking out, it's a penalty.
Got to keep that ball in bounds.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. 5 yards will be added to the end of the kick. First down, Rhinos.
Something we haven't more an option. We've seen a couple of kicks go out of bounds over the course of the weekend. No team's taken the option to take a re-kick.
It's interesting. I think it's take the extra 5 yards from the spot of the ball.
Rhinos start 1 yard into Raptor territory. They very well could just knee it out from here, and it looks like they're about to take the victory formation. It's actually Jack Lowe who's going in and taking the knees. I think it possibly could be, I wouldn't say his last game's goals. He's now got a Sun Bowl to play. The Raptors opt to take the final timeout, which I understand, but a short turnaround.
Timeout, Raptors. Last team timeout.
It's not them to pass on, but that's their prerogative. We'll take a short break. Be right back.
Omaha! Face! Julius! Move 20! 50's right. Move! Clear! Omaha! Then down! 50's right!
And the old sneaky final timeout, the academic timeout.
I think they just want their last game of football to last that little bit longer.
No, and I can't take that away from them. They've played hard, the Raptors. Absolutely represented Moreton Bay very proudly. The Raptors, the closest team to the Sunshine Coast location. And they take another knee, the clock resumes, and we've got one final minute before we can officially pronounce the Brisbane Rhinos into the first Junior Sun Bowl. Seconds remaining now. We'll take the final 30 seconds, man, as they take one more knee. Ben Goff, general thoughts?
It's a great game of football. As we've said throughout the day, juniors and Colts are the futures of our league.
End of the ball game.
Future of our league indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, that is full time. The Brisbane Rhinos have defeated the Moreton Bay Raptors by the score of 33 points to 16. The Brisbane Rhinos are on their way to the first ever Junior Sun Bowl.
And congratulations to the Rhinos.
Congratulations to them. Of course, I say the first Junior Sun Bowl. The Colts division used to be referred to as juniors, so new Sun Bowl as far as the new termed junior football goes. Ben Goff, mate, it's been great getting back in the booth with you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you.
Your coverage in the first game. We've got a very short turnaround. In just a few minutes, we'll be kicking off Game 2 between the Gold Coast Stingrays and the Sunshine Coast Spartans. Back shortly.
Get him up. Get him up, get him up. Funny how you choose and pick your battles, dude. Keep saying you number one, but I'm on top, yo, it's done. Dropping styles like napalm, fake rappers think they so strong. Verses full of hype and always ready for a fight. Spontaneous, magnanimous, cause they can't get close enough to run with us. If you wanna battle, get it hard, get it raw. No emotions, I shake you until your chains fall off. What? Large, in charge, I set the bar high. You running with the big boys now. Get up, don't cry.